All right, shalom, shalom, shalom. It's your brother Abadia coming out to prophesy, feed sheep, make myself a living sacrifice. But I want to give all the honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashai, Bahashem, Kakadash. Double honors to my elders at Great Millstone who do well. Single honors to the elect. Peace and blessings be to all the sincere men, women, and children that do consist of the 1/3, and to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Babylon is falling. America is falling. It's quite evident that America is the mystery whore Babylon is written of in the Bible, right? There's many biblical historians who have also mentioned it, but it starts with the elders of Great Millstone, really going back to one West with Abba Bivens, because those would be the same men, the prophets of old, and I pray that I'm one of those men as well that's coming out today to bring forth the Lord's judgments before they happen. All right, the Lord always sent forth His prophets to prophesy against many nations and countries. Matter of fact, I said that. Let me get that really quick. The Lord always sent forth His prophet to prophesy against many nations. This is Jeremiah chapter 28, verse 8. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. And as of right now, if you look in the news, all you see is war and evil and pestilence. Like sanctions are actually acts of war because you pretty much are cutting off the supply line or the bloodline of a nation, right? But now you actually have it to where Russia and 13 other countries are holding military drills. 13 other countries holding military drills, and it's pretty much embarrassing the West, right? And of evil, the word evil just means an ill time. The times we're living in right now are very ill. All right, we're talking about people being homeless. We're talking about people not being able to feed their own family. I'll never forget it. And I heard of people in Afghanistan after America was done occupying them. There was actually people giving up organs just to get food for their family. But you got to eat every day. You don't have organs for every day. So can you imagine that it was so evil, the time was so ill for them that the man was willing to give up his organ for his family? But people in America don't seem to understand what's going on throughout the world because it hasn't hit their front door yet, you know? But America's the mystery of Babylon, and it's falling. And a pestilence, going back to Jeremiah 28 and 8. This, not the SARS, I'm sorry. The CD19 is a pestilence. Then they had the monkeypox. Then they had the chicken flu. No, I'm sorry, the swine flu. You know, then they had the bird flu. They had SARS, H1N1, H1N2, H3, 4, whatever, Nintendo 64. All these different strains and variants. And also the CD19 is stemmed from the SARS. SARS virus. All right? Staphylococcus aureus. Okay? Anyways, let's get to our America. Babylon is falling. All right? This is an article from USAnews.com. Report: American quality of life declines over past decade. All right? You can see that. Now you can't see it's a major glare right here. You definitely can't see it. Okay, it says the U.S. decline in quality of life is greater than the only other two countries that fail in the annual measure of social progress. And we're talking about quality. That also goes with not only, it goes with the quality of air you breathe, the quality of the water that you drink, the quality of the food that you ingest, and even the moral quality of the country itself. Because if you really think about, matter of fact, where is it? Somewhere in Jackson County or somewhere in Mississippi. The woman said she been paying. Judah had a woman too. She was older woman, sure. She said she paid a whole month for whatever her water bill was, and she can't even drink or use the water. She still got to pay for her water bill, right? That's what's happening. Eating GMO food, okay, genetically modified food, eating food that has chemicals in it, that's highly processed. All of that is a low quality of life as well here in America. That's why America's also falling. Okay, going back, the world has become. The world has become. No, 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 I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. I'm sorry. The United States declined. This is the third paragraph from the top in the article. The United States declined, quote, both in absolute terms and relative to its wealthy world power peers, unquote. And you know, Shalom, Shalom, Maki, how about Shema Shai, about Shema Fakadash, Rakatah? Showing love from the States. I think you're Canada. I think you're Benjamin, by the way, brother. Nonetheless, though, so notice what it says. The United States declined both in absolute terms and relative to its wealthy world power peers. They're only thinking about their economic wealth. But like I said, the decay and the decline of the food, the water, the air you breathe, and even the moral quality of this country is why America's on the decline, right? And why is that? Really because they're not taking heed to the words of YAHAWASHI. Because once again, remember, every president gets inaugurated. Look up the word inauguration. It pretty much means to be given power, like literally power from like a power, some other kind of entity. And that's what the Lord has done for them. Romans 13:1. Even to the point where it is in James, where it says, Thou hast said that there is one God, thou doest good, yea, and the devil believes also. Right? So even the left-hand side, Esau, they still had to put their hand on the Bible. But even though you're doing it, they swearing in, so they're still going off, you're not supposed to swear. But they don't take heed to the Bible. They have amendments, Bill of Rights, their own statutes and ordinances. This is the Baruch chapter 4, verse 1. This is the book of the commandments of God, Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. So this law forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. And everywhere you look around you, America is really the valley of the shadow of death. There's death all around you, man. Okay? Once again, not just for the food, for the water, but even the inventions. Yeah, a car is convenient and gets from point A to B faster, but at what cost? To fracking, which causes man-made earthquakes, to the gas emissions putting holes in the ozone layer, to me having to inhale all of this exhaust from these cars, right? That's also a poor quality of life for us, just for us to survive. I mean, think about it. We've gone from living centuries to only living decades, right? Continuing on in the article, ranking just 28th in social progress according to the index, which measures quality of life in areas such as personal safety. Oh, okay. Well, I said it, and here it goes. Health and wellness, environmental quality, personal freedom and choice. Oh, Lord, that's running rampant. And inclusiveness. That's a 12-spot drop from the full index was first published in 2014 when the U.S. came in at numbers 16. So that dropped from 16 to 29 from 2014. So America, what, 28th in the world, so to say, when it comes to it being on a decline? Man, I can only imagine what other countries are on the incline. You notice how they spoke economically, and then they started speaking about the health-wise, the choices people make, and your environment. It's terrible, all right? And I also have articles to back that up too, speak about the quality of the environment that you live in. And also another article, another precept going into how America's declining. This is Baruch, not Baruch, sorry. 1 Timothy 6:10. For the love of money is the root of all evil. Remember, evil is an ill time, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows, right? So the love of money is what's creating these harsh conditions for people. Because how would you have like 1% of the world population that controls damn near 90% of its wealth? There's a small fraction of people controlling the masses. And how do you get rich? By lying, cheating, and stealing. because you're not doing it according to the law. But if you were to do it according to the law, we'll be the ones ruling anyway, right? Because that's prophecy. In a prime example, I just uploaded a short of the CFO of Bath and Body and Beyond, but Bad Bath and Beyond, whatever it's called, and he pretty much jumped from what was it like a 16 or 14-foot story condo in New York and committed suicide. We're talking about people that own millions or billions of dollars taking their own lives when Jake can barely make it, living paycheck to paycheck and getting cash advances, and Jake be still be in the hood thinking he a damn king with food stamps with a food stamp card in his pocket. But these heathens worth millions and billions are committing suicide, and they're also making preparation bunkers. Why? They know that America is on a decline. This is an article from ZeroHedge.com. But once again, you probably can't see it because of the glare. Yeah, that's a nasty glare out here. You can't see it because of the glare. It says tent cities are taking over vast stretches of our major cities. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get worse for people out here in America, man. Listen to this. I'm getting straight to the point. Tonight, hundreds of thousands. Hold on, I'm sorry. Let me make sure I give you some respect on this. Friday, August 19, 2022, when this article was published, so a couple weeks ago. Tonight, hundreds of thousands of our fellow Americans will be sleeping in tents, under bridges, and overcrowded shelters, or in their vehicles. Of course, there are many that are so addicted to drugs and alcohol that they just sleep wherever they end up passing out. And it's supposed to be a great city. It's supposed to be that great country, right? People so strung out on drugs, they just want to sleep on the damn streets, man. This is the society that you have created. Not only to the detriment to us, because we're Hebrew Israelites, we're under curses, you're even making the society to be detrimental to your own people. And this is supposed to be your kingdom. And it's going to show you how wicked, how wicked, cruel, and curliest you are. Or churliest, not curliest, churliest. All right? This is a tragedy that is growing with each passing day, and it is only going to get worse in the months ahead as the U.S. economy slows down even more. And this article was published last month. So they say it's only going to get worse. So there's hundreds of thousands of people living on the streets right now, and it's only going to get worse this year. Right? This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus chapter 11, verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord of the sudden to make a man rich. So it's nothing for the Lord to make a poor man rich. Hey, it's so easy a caveman could do it. The Lord took Esau out of the caves, the Caucasus Mountains, after Satan was bound for 1,000 years, and he was loose for a little while to deceive the world. Now Esau is ruling from the beginning of the Renaissance, starting like around the 1400s, late 1300s, all the way up until now. But their kingdom really didn't start flourishing until the industrial period, and that was during the 1800s. So America is a very short-lived kingdom. Okay. Remember, Egypt of antiquity had us in captivity for over 430 years. Now let's not go into that. You know, people be like, "Oh no, it's 400, 375 years, whatever." Anyhow, so remember, it's nothing for a Lord to turn a poor man rich, right? Verse 25. In the day of this is verse 25, Ecclesiasticus, so Raw 11 and 25. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there's no remembrance of prosperity. And when you're doing good, when you're gelling, you're not really concerned about the Lord, because you got what? Money in your bank account, insurance, you got insurance on everything. Everybody's healthy, food in the house. You got your cars out there, you have your estates. But then once that pandemic hit, women really understood how vital it was to have a man in their life. And also men really started to understand that women was lacking the validation from certain men, and it was driving them crazy. but let alone just the simple fact of that pandemic lets you know that people who have mom and pop stores, right? They were making residual income. They were making good money, probably, 70, 80,000 a year. All of a sudden, pandemic come, you can't serve people in close quarters. Had to shut everything down. And also, there was an article that said about maybe 50 to 60% of Americans have at least 2 to 3 grand in savings. Yeah, I saw another article that said that within about a month they blew through that because they wasn't able to go to work. So they blew through that money. So even like 4 or 5 grand not gonna hold you no more than what, a month and a half to 2 months. So really everybody living paycheck to paycheck. I don't understand why people are so proud. A lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. You people making like 6 figures, that's like what, 15%? Maybe 15 or yeah, about 15, 14% of men. Think about men. Now women, that's probably like what, 3%? Then when you go to when you go like to $500,000, that's like what? Below 1%. So people really living paycheck to paycheck. And on top of that, I saw an article where it said now thousandaires, or should I say 100 people who make 6 figures, I should say, are now becoming the new lower class. So what the hell they tell you about people who making what? Most men average around what, between like 40 to $42,000 a year, average. But people making 6 figures are now becoming the lower class. So really, you need to just be living to survive. That's how you know America's on a decline. So Raw 11 and 27. The affliction of an hour maketh that man forget pleasure, and in his end, his deed shall be discovered. Right. Another article, LATimes.com, homelessness. So like, this article was published, damn, this was June 12th, 2020. All right. Homelessness jumped 13% in LA County, 14% in the city before pandemic. Okay. Now I'm gonna read another article. Not another article, another precept. I keep saying that. This is Sirach, chapter 29, verse 21 through 24. The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. Imagine you have to live in a tent with your wife and your young daughter. I mean, you'll feel shameful, man. Okay. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house. So that's like being in the shelter. What's up, man? All right. Be it little or much, hold thee contented that thou hear not the reproach of thy house. For it is a miserable life to go from house to house. For where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth. So hell, you being homeless, you ain't even really got no place to say, this is my area, this is my space. It's public property on top of that. But if you go to a shelter, there's certain things you can't do there, right? Or if you go and if you lodge in somebody else's house, nothing you can do there. If you're not paying rent, you know what I'm saying? You really can't say nothing. So, that was just another article I wanted to bring out about how Americans are in decline. Now listen to this. Article from NAR.realtor. 8.9 million people relocated since the beginning of the pandemic. Right? And this reminds me of how we're going to have to maneuver to and fro throughout the world in that day, really when Jacob's trouble come about. Second Ezra 16 and 40. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to like battle, and in those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So a pilgrim is someone who's nomadic, meaning that you don't frequent a spot too often. Why? Because you're constantly moving to and fro. You're constantly moving about, right? So it's like doing Uber Eats, something like that. But we're doing this for survival because the Gadites, The Reubenites, who people today would call Native Americans, they were very nomadic because they also kept the 7 year Sabbath, to where you will till a certain portion of the land for 6 years. Then for 1 year you will go somewhere else. Why? Because that land still that piece of land still needs to replenish the nutrients so that you can continue to grow not cattle, vegetation from there, so that your cattle can feed off that vegetation. You understand? It's a perfect cycle. That's why Israel, the Lord referred to it as the land of milk and honey. To have a land of milk and honey, you must have a very fertile land. Because if you go back and look at an ancient map, where Israel is also known as the Fertile Crescent. Now let's go way back to the beginning. It was really one big landmass called Pangea. But what broke everything up into continents? The flood. So if you really think about a rainforest, or just think about Brazil, not Brazil. Is it Brazil? Yeah, the rainforest. I'm sorry. The Amazon. I'm sorry, the Amazon. Think about the rainforest. There's some portions of the Amazon they have not even discovered because it's so dense. Can you imagine all the vegetation and the animals, all types of creatures that's there that hasn't been discovered? So imagine having the Pangea, one big landmass, and deep in the epicenter is where Israel is today. That's why it's called a Fertile Crescent. In order for you to have honey, you must have Fertile Crescent to produce what? Flowers. And in order for you to have milk, you must have great lands of vegetation for the cows to chew the cud. Because how do you have milk and honey? You only have honey from the vegetation, you get milk from the cows, but it's a beautiful, perfect, beautifully orchestrated uh, ecosystem that the Lord created, right? Over here in America, what the hell you got? It's an import country, man. Okay? And so people got to move to and fro because they can't live here because the cost of living is going up. It's not because the land they own is not producing a great batch of crop or whatever, or that their cows are dying off, the livestock. No, because how should I put it? The value of the dollar is decreasing, so you're paying much more for the same product that you paid for probably last week or the month before or the year before, right? So people have to move, or they can't afford to live where they stay at. I heard some people saying like their rent went from $1,200 to like $1,800, right? So you're gonna have to be nomadic, okay? But we're gonna be like pilgrims in that day because guess what? It's gonna be a lawless state here in America soon, a very lawless state. So we're gonna have to be like pilgrims. But because we kept the Lord's word, the Lord will keep us from the evils to come. Listen to this. Second Ezra chapter 8, verse 38 to 39. For indeed, I will not think on the disposition of them which have sinned before, before death, before judgment, before destruction. So the Lord said he ain't even thinking about the people that sinned that wouldn't listen to him. The Lord not concerned with them. Listen to this though. Verse 39. But I will rejoice over the disposition of the righteous, and I will remember also their pilgrimage and the salvation and the reward that they shall have. Shall is future sense. So Lord gonna know. I know you're gonna have to be like pilgrims in the earth throughout that day. I understand your righteousness because it is of me, and that you seek my salvation, but I will not take away your reward. So yeah, I mean, I see homeless people out here. Give them a couple of dollars here and there. Ask if you want something to eat. I get some out the store. And you want to know what, man? I could be an injury or a furlough away from living on the streets myself. You know. So call lo yun lang YAHAWASHI Mausha by Shem Hakadash. Kamya Walawaya. Okay. All right. That. Inflation is wiping out wage increases for many workers. Once again, inflation. So in other words, it's costing companies. Now think about this: if it's costing you more for the food that you have to pay for, why do you think you pay? Why do you think you have to pay more? Because the fuel prices are going up for those 18-wheelers, and those companies are like, I'm not going to pay this $500,000 or $1 million surcharge because of inflation. And how about this? I'm going to charge you companies that want me to distribute your foods and your toiletries and your consumables. I'm going to charge you more. So guess what? They're forcing those companies to do. They're forcing those companies to raise the retail prices on their products. So as the dollar loses value, hell, they'll need to give you more money now for you to survive. Some call it federal minimum wage. By law, they can't pay you no lower than this, but it's the lowest they can pay you, right? That's why with skills comes compensation. Okay, inflation is wiping out increases for many workers. Let's get back to it. Average hourly earnings are up 5.1% on the year, a significant increase after years of middling growth. But inflation is more than wiping out those gains when adjusted for the cost of rising prices. Earnings are down 1.1% in a year. Matter of fact, let me just break that down simply. I can never forget this. Maybe about 2 years ago, I will go to Walmart. I can get me a dozen and a half eggs for 95 cents. I never forget. I'll see the 9 to 5. I'll see the C, which meant for cents. You go into Walmart today and try and get you a dozen. I'm talking about jumbo too. Trying to get you a dozen and a half eggs. Damn near $3, man. That's what you call inflation. So now I'm paying what? Almost a 2% upmark and increase for the price of the same product I'm getting that I've been paying for 2 years. Or should I say 2 years ago? So that's why wages are not increasing. Inflation. This is second Ezra 16 and 21. Behold, victuals shall be so good cheap upon earth that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and even then shall evils grow upon earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And the world is in perplexity. Think about it. Look at the etymology of the word victuals. Victuals goes back to essentials. Food, water, raiment, which is clothing, and shelter. But now we live in a society where, hell, your ass better have some medicine. You're going to need fuel, okay? So there's also other commodities that we need just to get by in everyday life, you know? And really, hell, you better have some internet because if you want to file a job application, either you have to go to a kiosk at a store or you have to go online. But even though all these things were cheap at one point, now that you know the prices are going up, even more evils are going to come. Remember, all the evils that are coming, the plagues on earth, are to destroy Esau's kingdom and to also usher in ours. Esau's destruction will lead to our insurrection, all right? Our resurrection of our kingdom, which is already at hand. Remember, the Lord told the 12 to tell us that the kingdom of heaven is at hand. And that was millenniums ago, right? Let's get back to it. Haggai 1 and 6. Ye have sown much. Sown means you work. You work. And bring in little, right? Ye eat, but ye have not enough. Ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it in a bag with holes. And that reminds me of the term where they say, I had to rob Peter to pay Paul. Or should I just say, I had to borrow from Peter to pay Paul, but now I still got to pay Peter back. So where I'm going to get the money to pay Peter back? So now it's like, it's kind of like you go up 3 steps on a ladder, and then you come right back down 4. You go up 3 steps, you come right back down 4. That's what it's like. That's how you know America's on a decline. Okay. Article from timeout.com, published September 13, 2021. New York City was voted one of the top 3 dirtiest cities in the world. Remember, New York is the Empire State, y'all. So Esau's Empire State is rated as one of the top 3 dirtiest cities in the world, the places to be in the world. Wow. Let me get to the article. It's a certain part of the article I want to get to. According to respondents, New York is one of the top 3 dirtiest cities in the world. Coming in just behind Rome, the false prophet, Rome, and Bangkok. We're talking about Rome, the Vatican City, right? Where the Pope, His Holiness, lives at. That's listen, that's one of the top three dirty cities in the world, right? But see, this is why we got to get out of this place. And the reason why I like that because they don't uphold any of the laws, and because of their many inventions, their minds, the things that they think of. Okay, let's get back to it. Because you got people in New York, you got big rats about the size of baby pit bulls dragging pizza slices up goddamn up the stairs and everything, man. There's so much pollution on the street, not only in New York too, also in California. They saying people can't even walk on certain street on certain sidewalks because of the level of trash that's everywhere, man. People urinating, defecating in alleys, right there on the sidewalk, spitting gum from 1974 on the ground or whatever, you know, use condoms, needles. This place is just filthy. Not just New York, all over, man. And Shalom, Laquam. YAHAWASHI, Bashim, Kakadash, Barak, right. Woe to her that is filthy and polluted to the oppressive city. Zephaniah 3 and 1. Exactly. And why is that? Because they don't uphold the ways of YAHAWASHI. Micah 2 and 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you, even with a sore destruction. The Lord told us to come out of her, man, even the ways. Like we had, what was it? It was just yesterday. What was it? It was Labor Day. Labor Day also was the Day of Atonement. Man, Jake got them frying pork ribs and everything, handing out school supply for kids and all of that. Like you eating pork ribs for one, and you didn't even understand that when Labor Day was around, you was still picking fucking cotton. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even Jake mind is polluted. They worshiping such real Bourget and thinking that that's the son of God. They're so polluted that they have loved their oppressor. They're so polluted they call the scraps and the worst of what Esau wouldn't eat when we was in hardcore bondage. They will call it soul food. Hey, the video you uploaded is what made me say that, man. When you showed me that how Jake got there barbecuing and all of that, it's pure wickedness, man. Yeah, that's why I gave you that. That's why that's your name, bro. Because you really want the Lord to have revenge over the wickedness of our people. You know, 2/3, and because of the heathens, man. I can understand that. You know, 2/3 are heathens as well, right? Let me get back to it. According to the respondents, New York is one of the top 3 dirtiest cities in the world, coming in just behind Rome and Bangkok. That's right. That means it managed to claim the top spot stateside. In fact, a majority of respondents, 55% to be exact, called it dirty. This is ridiculous. Sure, New Yorkers leave their garbage on the side of the street, and you can usually find discarded plates and cups on the sidewalk. Sure, sometimes walking into a subway station feel like you're trapped in a horror video game or alternate dark dimension. So they're telling you, yes, every now and then a New Yorker might drop their dollar slice pizza on the ground and just kind of wipe it off and be like, whatever. What? It's for real? But like, whatever, it's probably fine. And yes, sometimes you can walk through a puddle or get dripped on by a mystery liquid. What the fuck? And you're like, there's a possibility of toxin in that. Just took a few years off my life. This is filthy, man. This is real talk. This is real talk. This is real talk. Okay, fine. Sometimes you might be swimming at a public beach. Wow. And realize you're surrounded by empty floating Chex Mix bags. And occasionally you might spend a day walking around the city in sandals and get home and the bottom of your feet are pitch black and you tell yourself, this is fine. It's probably just dust. Please just be dust. All right, we'll admit some of the public restrooms located in regional transit hubs appear to not have been cleaned since the 90s. It's about America. This is talking about New York, the Empire State. And we found things in city parks we never want to talk about again, but overall, New York is pretty clean. What the fuck? Yeah, right. Once again, oh yeah, Micah 2:10, right. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you, even when it's your destruction. Come on, out the water, because that's actually what I had next to go into. Right, this place will destroy you. That, you know what? That's why it says we look for a new heaven and a new earth where dwelleth righteousness. Because they don't dwell in righteousness, everything around us is polluted or even immoral or decaying. This is Psalm 119:9. Wherewithal shall a young man cleanse his way? By taking heed thereto according to thy word. So think about it. Before, you know, you was always taught that you're not under the law. So Jake could have been still going to church every Sunday, reading the Bible. When he reading the Bible, he's smoking a blunt, right? Or Jake still eating on pork, chitlins, right? Or Jake still out here even committing adultery. All of those types of things. How do you cleanse your way? By taking heed to the word of the Lord, because this society teaches you that you don't have to keep the law. So in your mind, you're already being raised to be wicked. Think about it. Your parent, your parents celebrate what? Christmas. They celebrate Halloween, even your birthday. Shalom, Tina Paris. The water up. 2 Peter 3:13. Nevertheless, we according to his promise, look for a new heavens and a new earth wherein dwelleth righteousness. The water, exactly. That's why we're striving day in and day out for a seat on the chariot, but we know that righteousness is going to descend upon this wicked nation, this wicked earth at that. Sirach 35:3. To depart from wickedness is a thing pleasing to the Lord, and to, ooh, I like that one. And to forsake unrighteousness is a propitiation. Ooh, and propitiation is pretty much like a pardon or to reconcile back with someone. So that will reconcile. So to separate ourselves from the world is a pleasing thing to the Lord. What it said, friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High, right? Oh yeah, that's a good one too. Proverbs 27:12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. That's why the Lord said, "How long, ye simple ones, will you love simplicity?" Um, Scoffers delight in scoffing. Then it was something else that said, roughly paraphrasing, really destroying the precept. Forgive me. That's Proverbs 1:20 and 21. But that's the point. We are prudent, meaning that we're inquisitive. We like to be analytical. We like to look at the situation and assess it. Jacob be like, that ain't nothing, man. That ain't, he ain't thinking about that. Then when the evil come, oh, he was such a good person. Yeah, right. Okay, beautiful. That's what we're doing right now. Proverbs 19:16. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his own soul right. And he that despiseth his ways shall die. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, Lord, now, if I may, I'm going to go into the moral decay of America. Forgive me, y'all. I'm going to put that up. I'm going to read it, though, but I'm going to read this really quick. It's an article from AdamHorowitzLaw.com. Minor attractive person. A troubling phase causing controversy. So now what they're saying is we're not going to call these people pedophiles anymore. We're going to call them minor attracted person. Minor. What makes you a teenager? When you turn 13. An adolescent is between the ages of like 7, 8 to always even up to being 16 and 18, because you still have the adolescent mind. You still developing. Then you have like toddlers. And then you have MAP. Yeah, they call them MAP. Then you have infants. I've even seen I seen a freaking article, man, of this dude freaking raping a damn infant, man. Like, I don't give a damn if that. I don't care if it was an Edomite child. That shit's off, yo. But this is society that we live in, man. That took the cake when I seen that. Anyways, think about this. I'm gonna read a little bit of this article. Matter of fact, let me read the precept really quick. Romans 1:32. We know in the judgment of Yahawah that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasures in them that do them. The water for you bringing that up, because if you go up a couple verses, it speaks about being a Joe, not a Joe, a Mo, all right, being a fruitcake. Because in that same chapter in Romans 1, it speaks about the Lord giving them up for a vile affection. When women leave the natural affection of a woman and men going after that, which is unseemly. Right. Yeah, man. All right. This place got to go. A Bob ball. Damn right. Damn right. Damn right. Anyways, go back to this article. It says, minor attracted person, a disturbing phrase used by Dr. Alan Walker to describe a pedophile or sex abuser to minors. What if we call murderers life takers, or embezzlers money shifters? What do we use the term others property prefers for purse snatchers? Obviously, these phrases are awkward and confusing. Worse, they are a disservice to crime victims and contrary to the truth. Right? Because it's off. You're trying to turn that which is, that's beautiful. Beautiful precept, Art. Isaiah 5:20. Woe to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Right. So rather than calling them pedophiles, they call them minor attracted persons. So you're calling good evil and calling evil good. That's why if you think about it, they really haven't started passing laws for same-sex marriages until after all of those bishops and those Catholic churches started getting exposed. After, what was that, 2010, 2011, then they started passing all these laws. If you call someone a faggot, that's hate crime. It's hate speech. Because they've been doing it for centuries. They've been doing it for years. So now what they're doing, they call it that which is evil good, and now they call that which is good evil. So for me to say, so if you go to a park with your daughter or your son, and this man is attracted to your daughter, and she's 5 years old, if you go across his head, they're gonna say, wait a minute, you're showing that's a hate crime because he's a minor attracted person. He's attracted to minors. How the hell you get around that? Right? How do you get around it? That's another reason why America's on a decline. Why this place is going to be wiped off the face of the earth, man. Right. This is Jude 1:7-8. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah, remember Sodom and Gomorrah? You got to remember, at one point in America, sodomy was a felony. It was a felony to commit sodomy in America. But now all of a sudden, it's not a felony anymore. Why? Because you got same-sex marriages with men. And also, the first state to legalize same-sex marriage was Massachusetts. Now, America has their own state motto. It's called the Sunshine State. Now, what was Massachusetts' motto? The Spirit of America. Wow, the first state to commit same-sex marriages is also known as the Spirit of America. You can't make this stuff up. It's all subliminal. That's how the devil works, man. So they already told you what the program was going to be from the beginning. Now, think about this. The incident is going on with Epstein. How are you going to try and put Epstein behind bars and you try to convict these people, but then you're going to pass a law for minor attracted persons? That's how you know this is Babylon, man. This place is confusion. It's like, how the hell that you want these people to go to jail for trafficking kids, but then you saying, oh, you can still be attracted to them, though. You just can't traffic them? I don't get it. And then you got drag queens reading Dr. Seuss books to minors in school. I mean, this is, and then you got they got Satanists saying that they can actually praise Satan in schools. Now they're saying, oh, well, if you can bring Christianity in the schools, why can't you bring Satanism in the schools? And guess what? They folded. The opening day for school, they had Satanists go to the school, man. This is happening in America. Isaiah 29:15. Woe unto them that seek deep to hide their counsel from the Lord, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us. There was this Edomite looking man that sat in the truck for about 3 minutes and listened to me. He had plenty of times, opportunities to go away, but he had to hear that, right? I'll be working right now, but I took this day off after Labor Day, and now I'm out here preaching the word. So, hey, it was the spirit for the Lord to put on him for that man to sit right there in this truck for 3 minutes and listen to me speak about how America is in moral decay and moral decline, man. Come on, you could be attracted to minors, right? It's a law. It's legal. You could be a man. You could get your plumbing changed. You could be a drag. You could read the children. A child could change their sexual orientation without their parents' consent. All of this, man. All of this, man. You say God bless America. Let me read y'all precepts, man. Hey, that brother Naquan. I see you, Naquan. I see you. Isaiah 29:16. Surely your turning of things upside down should be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing frame say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? And that's how you know that's Esau, who's ruling today. Because what did he do when he came in from the field and Jacob was cooking that red pottage? He was like, man, give me that right now, man. He was like, man, this birthright ain't. I ain't gonna say it. That's what he said. Thank you for saying that, because we got it. And then what happened? He just pretty much despised everything of the Lord. That's why it says in Hebrews 12:16 to not be a profane person like Esau. What's being profane? Pro means before or outside, and finest means temple. Anything outside the temple, anything outside the body. So we're spiritual rocks, building up that spiritual temple, right? Then you can't bring anything of this world into the temple. That's contrary to what we believe. So that's Esau. He's absolutely positively contrary to everything we believe in. Absolutely. Psalms 14:3. They are going aside, they are all together become filthy. Exactly. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Exactly. A land of darkness, as darkness itself. Sorry, Job 10:22. Forgive me, KDC. And of the shadow of death, exactly. Without any order. And where the light is as darkness. And where the light is as dark. That's beautiful. But this is the light. It's truth. Because what they're trying to do, condemn us. That's what vocab Malone trying to do right now. I remember somebody had put up a sign on a telephone pole somewhere up north. I'm in Florida. And it said, YAHAWASHI is coming. It was like a white board with red letters that said, YAHAWASHI is coming. And then they try to plaster that all over the news. And I think they called it anti-Semitic. I'm like, what? What? Abraham stemmed from Shem. YAHAWASHI is the son of David. What are you talking about? Stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So that's what they do. And not Esau. YAHAWASHI wanted to bring light into the world, but Esau is always trying to dim that light by what? Flagging brother pages, taking down your page, not want to give us national recognition unless it's in a bad light. You know? Hey man, y'all know what should be at camp. Y'all got some good ones. Job 30, y'all hear though in the spirit. Job 30 and 8 from the Quran. They were children of fools, damn right. Yea, children of base men. They were violent in the earth. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, I like this one. Proverbs 1:18. For to eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. That's right. That's right. That's right. The water up. That's the one I wanted. I don't know if I asked you, but this one I wanted too. Psalms 82:5. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course, man. That speaks volumes, and I don't even need to turn the knob on. That's for real, y'all dropping some beautiful precepts, man. The water for real. I mean this. Isaiah 26 and 10. They say, hey, two or more, two are better than one. I got y'all here. Let favor be shewed to the wicked, yet will he not learn righteousness in the land of uprightness. He will do unjustly and will behold the majesty of the Lord. That's heavy. Because the Lord showed him favor by doing what? Giving him the earth. And he also got the laws, but won't keep them. So even when you come into the kingdom, that's why all nations must know the law. People don't understand it. Only the nation of Israel is going to be 100% righteous. All you other nations throughout the entirety of our rulership, we're going to have to always teach you the law, because your children that come about must learn the law. The law is going to be in our inward parts regardless. Okay? So even in the kingdom of heaven, we still going to be going across your head, Esau, for them 1,000 years. I don't know. I was saying a lot, but I'm glad you remembered. Going back to Jude 1 and 7. Even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, I set forth an example, surviving the vengeance of eternal fire. Likewise, also these filthy dreamers defile the flesh, despise dominion, and speak evil of dignity. So, like the scripture says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah, they were in like manner giving themselves over to fornication, who after strange flesh set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Why? Because of bestiality, homosexuality, lesbianism. Remember, the word lesbian go back to a Greek island known as Lesbos, where they would take women there, other women would take women there, and they would teach them the ways of being a lesbian. And that's really where orgies came from, you know, because the Greeks would have something called a vomitorium. Think about the word vomitorium. They would eat, till they would vomit. And they were also always in a state of debauchery. They would drink, they would drink until they would vomit. So they would eat and drink till they vomited. Matter of fact, I brought my book from Babylon to Timbuktu. Let me see if I can find that passage. I highlighted it so it shouldn't take long. Bear with me for a quick minute, there, Mike. Forgive me. I don't know exactly where it is. I thought I knew where it was, but it said that Alexander the Greek, that they were always in the state of debauchery, and when he was ruler over the Eurasian world at the time. Uh, I forget it. Yeah, but like I said though, man, it was always in a state of debauchery. Hosea 5 and 8. Gilead is a city of them that work iniquity and is polluted with blood. Huh. And also think about it too. I did a live yesterday, going on the Herodian dynasty a little bit. And when you think about it, I think it was I forgot who it was, but someone in the Herodian dynasty was given rulership to be a prefect or governor over the province of Judea. Right, so that was in all of our lands, ruling over us, man. We get back to it. Not gonna make this too long, but I gotta get my points across. Yep. Gilead's the city of them that work. That's right. Isaiah 3 and 9. The shew of their countenance doth witness against them, and they declare their sin as Sodom. They hide it not. Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. Right, so they reward themselves with evil. Why? Going right back to that Romans, what was it? Romans 1 and I think 32 you have dropped, brother? Right. Forgive me. So here's the whole conclusion of the matter, especially dealing with Israel and the heathen. Second Ezra 15, 22 to 27. My right hand shall not spare the sinners. Hey, Shalom, my northern tribe brother. I perceive you northern tribe because of the name. But anyway, nonetheless, Shalom out. Shalom out. My right hand shall not spare the sinners, and my sword shall not cease over them that shed innocent blood upon the earth. The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and hath consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Which is why, if one of y'all brothers, Baba Kashal, can please post, what is it, 2 Peter 3, where it says, knowing these things shall be, burned up, what manner of persons ought we to be in all holy conversation? The fire is gone forth from his wrath, and have consumed the foundations of the earth, and the sinners like the straw that is kindled. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. So when it says woe to them who have not sinned, I'm sorry, when it says woe to them in sin, woe means destruction. Sin is the transgression of the law. So if you go against the law, that means that prime example. That means that we're under the law. Even Paul said, I speak to them that know the law. That's only Israel. So why would Esau want to keep the law when it's not given to them? Right? Even though they have the Bible, they know it's not for them. Okay? So the Lord going to destroy the sinners, man. The water. 2 Peter 3 and 11. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved. Woo. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation? God. And holy conversation is conversations outside of the realms of everyday conversation of people outside the body. Profane conversation. I mean, football season coming up. You gonna have guys at the job corner, hey man, you see the game, y'all there. All right, ain't nothing wrong with that. Like the scripture said, if at all possible, be at peace with all men. You don't have to go, man, football, whatever. But after that, our mind is still stuck on what? The truth, the word, salvation, judgment, prophecy, vengeance, which is coming from the Lord. You think about all of that, man. The water, Malak. Hey, shalom, Willie. 2 Peter 3 and 12. Looking for and hasting until the coming of the day of Yahawah, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Woo! Going right back to what I'm reading right now. And for the record, the Edomite dude that came around in the truck, he came around the second time. Anyhow, this word is out. These people really want answer, man, but they're scared to get the truth because the truth got hurt. Oh, Lord, like how about small shot about shooting crocodiles? Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 24. Woe to them that sin and keep not my commandments, saith the Lord. I will not spare them. Go your way, ye children, from the power, defile not my sanctuary. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him. All right? Come on, judgment. Yep, judgment. That's what I say when I hear that. And therefore delivered he them unto death and destruction. So they're going to be delivered unto death and unto destruction. That's why all this evil is happening. For who? The sinners. That's why we can stand so boldly out here. And people, they'll ride by and they'll honk the horns, they'll wave, or they'll sit like 30 feet from me. They won't park their car and come ask a question. You want to know why? And they know their heart's not right. And really what it is, you just get correction to you is grievous. And it says that in, what is it? I think it's Proverbs 15 and 10, like correction is grievous to a fool. Now Proverbs 13 and 13, it say, he that despises my word or my law, will die or shall perish. That's what it is, man. You know, you know the signs and times we're living in. You see a prophet, a humble prophet, I'm gonna say that, of the Lord, a watchman, the water for that, brother. A watchman preaching his word. I mean, I don't know how many cars roll by, because the interstate is literally, you can literally see the interstate where I'm at. And you can hear the cars just bustling by. Trucks, 18-wheelers, people walking by, riding by on bikes. Nobody stopped to ask questions. But then when there's a famine of the word, I guarantee you they're gonna be wondering, man, what that one dude that had the beard that was out there preaching. But as of right now, when they have liberty, nobody care. And they can still go about their everyday life, and they can try to hide the truth. What they really, once again, damn, I forgot which one of y'all brought it up, but it's somewhere up there. The light. They don't want the light. Beautiful, right here, KDC. Job 10 and 22. A land of darkness, and its darkness itself, and of the shadow of death, without any order, and where the light is as darkness. That's what they want. They want to remain in the dark, man. They want to remain in the dark, man. That's all they want to do. What's up? I'm reading the Bible.
Oh, you reading the Bible?
Yeah, prophesied. Do you know America, Babylon?
Babylon?
Babylon.
Babylon?
Have you heard about Babylon in the Bible?
A little bit.
A little bit? What do you believe in, by the way? Just ask.
I believe in life.
You believe in life? Okay, you do believe there's a higher power?
Is there a higher power? I believe in the creator, yeah.
You believe in the creator? Okay. So where do you say your people will come from? Like your nationality, just asking.
We're my nationality.
Yeah,
as a blessing, we all blessed, so we're Israelites.
If you all right, we Israelites, so you know we Israelites, right?
Yeah.
So what was your father?
What was my father?
Yeah.
Through baptism, it was Israelites. But before that, Egyptians. Yeah, he baptized us, and we're Israelites. Okay. So Gentiles became one with them.
Do you work?
Do I work? Yeah.
Okay. Well, you had to fill out your job application. You had to write down your ethnicity. Right? Okay. All right. So would you be Hispanic?
Hispanic.
No. It's not different. It is what it is. That's why I asked you.
I'm saying spiritual. Spiritual is different.
I try to keep it simple.
Okay. Say you're living here. Okay. Yeah. My
where you living at? What planet you
from? I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay.
No, since we're talking through biblical, you're saying Babylon, and you're saying where we come from, and I'm telling you Israelites, because through the blessing we were baptized. Now, where am I from? I'm from Connecticut, Puerto Rican.
So your father's Puerto Rican.
Yeah.
That was simple. Thank you. So your father's Puerto Rican, right? So you will be from the tribe of Ephraim. That's why I said that.
Exactly where we're coming from. Get what I'm saying?
No.
I understand where you're coming from.
Okay, well, all right, then. Since you know you're Israelite, what are you doing about it?
Huh?
Since you know you're an Israelite, what are you doing about it?
What am I doing about it? I'm being tested.
How are you being tested?
We all being tested through God.
I'm asking you. How are you being tested?
How am I being tested? I carry His word.
I'm sorry?
I carry His word.
You carry His word?
Word.
His word?
Yes.
Okay. So are you feeding sheep?
Am I feeding sheep? He feed both ways.
He feed both ways?
Yeah, he feed both ways. It's your decision. Okay. You know, he just closes doors when he's ready.
Okay, well since
he gives the enemy, he gives more the enemy than he gives his own people.
Since you know you're an Israelite, who is Esau?
Who's Esau?
Yeah.
Okay, you're going by names and history. Okay.
I'm going by the Bible.
Yeah, you're going by the Bible, but just because you go by the Bible doesn't mean you're going through to something concrete.
I asked you if you believe
because the devil can do that.
Remember, I asked you.
Everybody can know the Bible, but what's the concrete?
Remember, I asked you if you believe in. You said that you believe in that Creator, right? That's a God, right?
Yeah.
Okay, then. So for you to say you're an Israelite, that means you would have to believe in the God of Israel, right?
Which is the Creator.
Right. So you believe in the Bible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you believe in the Bible, then you would. I'm just asking. You may not know. I'm just asking.
Okay.
That's why I asked you. Do you know who Esau is? If you don't know,
yes.
Okay, so
I believe, but the studying all that. Yes, I heard of Esau. Yes.
Okay, so do you know or not?
Yes, I know.
So who is Esau?
So break it down, and I can tell you,
brother. If you don't know, say you don't know. It's like I'm talking.
It's in the Old Testament. Esau is in the Old Testament.
The scripture say, "Let your yea be yea and nay be nay." Do you know who Esau is?
Yes.
Okay, who is Esau?
Okay, do you know who?
All right, but have a good day, man.
Do you know? I just want you to break it down. Look. No. Because one thing doesn't do with another thing. It's like, listen. You're telling me, okay, listen. No. You're telling me something biblical. Now you want me to break down the Brady Bunch. What that got to do with the Brady Bunch and the concrete position?
You know what you can do? You can take that word and just go about some business.
Yeah. I know.
All right, take care, man. That's our people, man. I had to ask you the same question multiple times to get the same. I'm recording myself, bro. You're not even here. You're not even here. You see the camera, right? It's been here.
All right. Don't get these things twisted. If you don't got something concrete, you can't put the Brady Bunch or something. Listen, it's like me saying the story of Jesus, and you want to know all the names of his fathers.
You got the word, right?
That don't make no sense.
I got the Bible.
But bro, it's not about the names. It's about the concrete. It's not about the name. It's about the concrete.
It's not about the name
of the example.
When Moses came out of Egypt, right? You say we came from Egypt. When Moses came out of Egypt, did not he ask, "Who shall I tell Israel who sent me?" Then he asked them his name, the same God.
I am.
That's his name.
That's his name. In that example, it was I am. Tell him I am. He came as Yahweh. He came as Allah. Through your faith.
Now he came as Allah. Listen, he came as Yahweh.
Through your faith, God.
When you filled out your job application, you had one name. So how can be Yahweh?
God got many names.
No, he don't.
He has many names.
What?
Do you read the Bible? Now that's in the Bible.
I got you.
See the concrete and the Brady Bunch? See the difference?
I'm glad you said that.
You want me to break down Jesus' ancestors, but you ain't breaking down the meaning.
I got you.
The devil knows the word, but he don't know the concrete because he can't step in it. Now, peace. You told me to go.
Yeah, please go. This is Zechariah 14:19. And the Lord shall be king over all the earth, and that day shall there be one Lord, and his name one. The wicked flee when no man pursue. The wicked flee when no man pursue. Now he in his feelings. Hey man, Jay bugged out, bro. He hurt now. See, that's what's wrong with our people. They want to lean up to their own understanding. See, he just thought we were having a regular conversation, which we were. But this is for edification's sake. Let your yea be yea, let your nay be nay. He said I said, do you believe in the higher power? I believe in the creator. Then he goes and say he's an Israelite. I said, what's your father? Well, I'm spiritually baptized. I said, I had to get out of it. Oh, physically? Oh, we live in here? I said, what planet are you from? I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, okay, you gotta fill out a job application. What would you say you would be? Oh, I'm Puerto Rican. Like, dude, Jay try to be so much wiser than what they are. It's like this word is simple, bro. So that's why I asked him. Okay, so you say you an Israelite. Okay, who is Esau? Man, it boiled down to it. Explain to me. But why couldn't you just say you didn't know? That's what's wrong with our people, man. They want to be so much wiser and smarter than they think they are. Okay? A beautiful precept too. Don't get it twisted. You got it twisted. Matthew 5:37. But let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. Ecclesiastes 5:1 from Caesar Gomez. Keep thy foot when thou goest to the house of YAHAWAH, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools. But they consider not that they do evil. Right. They want to be wrong. Exodus 32:9. And Yahweh said unto Moses, I have seen this people, and behold, it is a stiff-necked people. And once again, when you go into the Bible, you will not see I am. Mixed philosophy, Jay. Yeah, right. You will not see I am throughout the entire Bible. You will see the Lord, and when you go into the blue letter, the coordinates, it will be YHWH, which is YAHAWAH, not Yahweh. But anyways, this is Zechariah 14:9. And the Lord, in all capital letters, shall be king over all the earth. In that day shall there be one Lord, all capital letters, and his name one. He ain't got no light. That go back to him wanting to live in the dark rather than be in the light. Once he mentioned the Bible, and I went to the Bible, he started running. So as we were talking the whole time, it was cool. Once I start, bro, I couldn't even bring out one verse. And he got in his feelings, man. Right? This is Exodus 15:3. I'm about to do a video on this. The Lord, in all capital letters, is a man of war. The Lord, in all capital letters, is his name. And if you go to the Lord in all capital letters in Exodus 15:3, it will go back to YHWH, Yahawah, not I am. So he failed multiple times on a multiple choice, not even a multiple choice, just a yes or no quiz. And he failed, man. All right? All he wanted to do was discover himself. That's what he wanted to do. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 8. 1 Corinthians chapter 8, verse 2. And if any man think that he ought to know anything, he knows nothing yet as he ought to know. But if any man love God, the same is known of him. As concerning, therefore, the eating of those things that are offered and sacrificed unto idols, we know that an idol is nothing in the world, and there is none other God but one. It's funny how he said his name is Yahweh and Allah, he has many names. So when I went to the Bible, he scurried off, right? I already told you, love, you want to come back and say your piece and then go off. He's a fool. Don't he know that I got him recorded? 1 Corinthians 8:5. For though there be that are called gods, whether in heaven or in earth, as there be gods many and lords many, okay, but to us there is but one God, the Father, of whom are all things, and we in him, and one Lord, YAHAWASHI, of whom are all things, and we by him. Like this dude, he's all over the place, bro. He all over the place, man. And you know what? You could tell he a stiff neck on food because he know he an Israelite. But he still wanted to come and buck up against the word. He carried the word. You feeding the sheep? Nah, he wasn't. Romans 10:2. For I bear them record that they have a zeal of Yahawah, but not according to knowledge. Man, that dude didn't really have no zeal because he didn't even want to hear what the Lord had to say. He wanted to stay in his own mind. He didn't want to be proven wrong. All I was gonna do is go to the word, forget what we say. Let's go. That's why I asked what he believed in. And then I had to pry out of him. You know, you're an Israelite, so do you believe in the Bible? Well, if you do, then let's see what the Bible got to say. That he ran off. How did he run off? You know? No, you ain't do nothing wrong. He had a zeal. He wanted according to knowledge. He had a zeal, wanted according to knowledge, though. He just want to be right. No. I was just saying that, you know, like it was really pride. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, he had a zeal. But shit. I mean, I guess my zeal was more fervent than his because he had to scurry up the street. Not once I told him to go, then he came back, then he left again. Psalm 96:5. For all the gods of the nations are idols, but Yahawah made the heavens. Plain and simple. You know what? Let's go back. You know what? He segregated right into where I wanted it to go. Let's go. Second Esdras 15:26. For the Lord knoweth all them that sin against him. He didn't want to hear the word. And therefore delivered he them unto death and destruction. For now are the plagues come upon the whole earth, and ye shall remain in them. For God shall deliver you because shall not deliver you because ye have sinned against him. Right. And he sinned against the Lord because how it is, I'm standing here with the Bible, we having a verbal discourse, you don't even want to hear what I got to say. So that goes to show you that you're closed-minded. And you really can't even be a servant of the Lord because you ain't want to hear his word. In order to serve him, you got to speak according to his word. Because you ain't got no light in you, bro. No light, bro. Right. Proverbs 16:18. Pride go up before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Second Ezra 9:11. And they that have loved my law, while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it. This was a place of repentance and opening right now. In order to enter the kingdom of heaven, you got to come as a child. You got to come humble. He didn't want to be humble. Shit, the elders humble me, and I never met those men. You know? Beautiful KDC. 2 Corinthians 4:3. And if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost. Verse 4. And whom the God of this world hath blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Mashiach, who is the image of God, should shine unto them. Verse 6. For God, YAHAWAH, who commanded the light to shine out of darkness, which is what we're doing right now, he want to stay in gross darkness, have shined in our hearts to give the light of the knowledge. The knowledge, this is it. Because he didn't know I was trying to give it to him, but he didn't want to hear it because he was getting cut. Light of the knowledge of the glory of God, YAHAWAH, in the face of YAHAWASHI Mashiach. And also in addition, that Job 10:22. I like that one. That was a good one. I like that one. Once again, 2 Ezra 9:11. And they that had loathed my law, while they had yet liberty, right here, and when as yet place of repentance was opened unto them, understood not, but despised it. He said there was more than one name. I was gonna bring out precepts speaking that he only has one name. He didn't even want to hear that. It's like, bro, I said when you fill out a job application, you give them one name, don't you? It's a difference between having alias, like calling YAHAWAH al-Shadi, a demon-like power. That's different, you know. But he has a name, like you have Kobe, the Black Mamba Bryant. All right. If somebody say Kobe Bryant, you think about Black Mamba. If somebody says Shaquille O'Neal, you think about Diesel, Big Diesel. If you hear Allen Iverson, you think about The Answer, Dwayne Wade, Flash. You know, YAHAWAH is just YAHAWAH. He is. You need aliases, but we call them majestic, lovely, merciful. Just like YAHAWAH, we call him the Prince and all of that. But they have names. You wanna know why? Because there's no other name under heaven where a man might be saved. What's that? Acts 4:12? Like, come on, dude, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop. Going back, 2 Ezra 9:12. The same must do it after death by pain. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created. Woo! So we don't need to be concerned about who? The elect. The elect. Then answer I said, I have said before, and now do speak, and will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Like as a wave is greater than a draught. And he answered me, saying, like as the field. No, forgive me. Like as the field is, so is also the seed. As the flower be, such are not yet made, even from to dwell in that now. What the hell happened? Forgive me. I'm sorry. 2 Ezra 9:19. For then everyone obeyed, but now the manners of them which are created in this world that is made are corrupted by a perpetual seed, or by a law which unsearchable rid themselves. So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it. And that reminds me of that Ecclesiastes, the 7th chapter. Out of 1,000 men, he found one, but they have made many devices. Jay thinks he knows it all and have it all figured out. And he'll be all right. Hey, it just goes right back to what KDC dropped. The Lord blinded him. Just be appreciative and blessed that we're not blind. That's all I can say. Like, the water, that's not me. That's all I can say. You know? Forgive me. Verse 21, and I saw in the spirit greatly, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. Remember, it said, who is this that cometh from Bosra, or who is this that treadeth the winepress alone? So the Lord also referred to us as a cluster of grapes. So the other grapes are going to get treaded down, and that winepress, meaning what? YAHAWASHI going to slaughter them. Okay? Verse 22, let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain, and let my grape be kept in my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect. So through the spirit of YAHAWASHI, he's making us perfect. This is the perfecting of the saints. Okay, Ephesians 4 and 10. He that descended is the same also that ascended up far above all heavens, that he might fill all things. And he gave some apostles, and some prophets, and some evangelists, and some pastors and teachers for the perfecting of the saints. All right? So the body of YAHAWASHI, the Lord created himself. In other words, we've been chosen pretty much by Yahweh through his only begotten Son. So we all, forgive me, for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Mashiach. So we all come in the unity of the faith and of the knowledge of the Son of God, unto a perfect man, unto the measure of the stature of the fullness of Mashiach, that we henceforth be no more children, tossed to and fro, like Ephraim, right? Ephraimite that was up here, and carried about with every wind of doctrine, who named Yahweh, named Allah, okay, by the sleight of men and cunning craftiness, whereby they lie in wait to deceive. But speaking the truth in love, yeah, I was really trying to show him love, may grow up into him in all things, which is the head, even Mashiach. You know, so with that being said, all we have to do is continue to preach this word, because America, the mystery whore of Babylon, the great, is declining, is falling. As they're descending, we're ascending. As their declination continues, our inclination continues. Why? There's going to be a transfer of powers on earth. In other words, Esau, we're going to show you a true emancipation declaration. All right? I'm going to close out with a brother precept, Psalm 51 and 11. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Kind. So I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises unto Yahawah, Bahashim, Yahawashi, Bahashim, Kakadash. The most of my elders at Great Millstone, be well. Sing honor to the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3. And to the confusing face of 4 points on the earth. Welcome to the ball. Shalom. Shalom. Shalom.